Welcome to Hot Takes. This is the MMA series where we're going to be talking about hot takes. Whether it be mine, whether it be your guys, my followers, whether it be just people in the media, whether it be whatever, right? That's what we're going to be talking about. And if you guys ever want to submit anything, any hot takes, leave them in the comments below on my Insta in this video right now. So we're going to be starting with probably the most controversial one, in my opinion. This is me, right? I believe that Belal Muhammad is going to beat Shavkat. I know it's early to say they're not going to fight probably till the winter, whether that means December or January or February, probably around that time frame. I know it's a bit far away, but I feel like it's a matchup that a lot of fucking people are talking about right now, and it's on my mind, man. I'm confident about it. Not confident where if I had $100 I would bet 100, but I'm confident. And this is coming from a guy who, you know, I thought he was going to beat Leon, but I definitely wouldn't call myself a Belal fan. In terms of the matchup itself, Shavkat obviously has the advantage in the striking and the power, and he has a lot of momentum on his side right now. He's the big, scary #1 contender in the welterweight division. Even though technically it should be JDM versus Shavkat, due to Belal wanting to, you know, get it going a little bit with the title defenses, and also with Dana just scurrying to find any way to get the belt up Belal. Shavkat's momentum and the 100% finish rate, and he has solid ground game, although I do think Belal has the ground game advantage, and that's where I think Belal is going to start to take the wins in this fight. I don't even know if take the wins is a phrase, but I think Belal is going to win this fight, putting on the pressure, putting on the pace, just moving everything forward, having decent striking exchanges on the feet coming from Belal. I think it's going to be similar to the Edwards performance where they're kind of even on the feet, you know, and then Belal just totally dominates the ground and was the one that was openly putting forward the pressure and the pace in that fight. I think it's going to be similar, although I do think Shavkat is a harder opponent. I think because Shavkat has a bit of a bigger gap in the striking, and also, you know, Shavkat is the younger guy. He has solid ground game, fantastic striking, and great power. And man, I just think though, Jeff Neal gave him a hard time. And I'm not saying that Jeff Neal is some joke of a fighter. He deserves to be in the top 10. He's a great man for the division. But, you know, Shavkat did get the finish. It was a fight of the year candidate. It was a great fight. And I'm not saying that, like, this guy, every champion has to just be a marauder, a guy that just first round KOs every single person, although we do have Tom Aspinall. That's a real person right now. I'm not saying it has to be that caliber, but still, you know. And then the Stephen Thompson performance, I understand that he was injured, and I understand that's a big part, right? But it just wasn't that impressive. I feel like that was his moment to kind of shine, you know, probably had the most eyes on him. And, you know, again, I get it was an injury, but look kind of dull. And you have someone like Belal who's beaten the same opponents and even more. And I just think, I know that the age curse is against Belal as well, the whole he's 36 and the whole 35-year-old curse thing. I understand that too. It's just a lot of people are going to be picking Shavkat, and with good reason. You know, like, I understand that what I'm saying could be highly bullshit. I think Belal's going to put the pressure on him, put the pace on him. It's going to have solid striking. It's going to be an Edwards type performance, although I think Shavkat presents a lot more problems than Edwards does. But still, fuck it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will be putting money on it, but it won't be a lot. I'm not that confident. This next one is from a follower. I appreciate it. San Diego. Oh my God, I'm naming the wrong San. San Diego says that Holloway is going to school Ilia Topuria for 5 rounds. It could be a very similar performance to the Justin Gaethje fight. Now, as someone who does not like Ilia, hello, that's me. And as someone who likes Holloway a lot, that's me as well, I would love so badly for this to be the case, bro. Like, I would love for this to be the situation that goes down. Topuria, although, is going to present a lot of problems for Max. And I think more, I wouldn't say most, but more people than not are picking or favoring Holloway for this fight. But dude, I think this is about as 50-50 as a fight as it gets, dude. As much as I don't like Topuria, you know, I just don't like the things he's saying ever since he won the belt. Just kind of wanting to be like an inactive champion, wanting to retire after like 2 defenses, wants to go to boxing, be, you know, fight McGregor. It's just one of those guys, you know. But the actual fight itself, I mean, Ilia has elite grappling, elite striking. He knocked out Volkanovski, who has beaten Holloway 3 times. And the thing is, it gets so complicated with the Volk win now because it's like, oh, he came back too soon after the fucking Makhachev loss, which was, God. There was a timeline where Oliveira's eyebrow didn't get fucking cut, all right, and that whole Volk shit was real. It was avoided, the head kick KO, and we got a real Topuria versus Volk. Now, I'm not trying to take away from Topuria's win. It's an insane win. It immediately put him on the pound-for-pound top 5. And he's got great wins over Bryce Mitchell, Josh Emmett, and he's an overall, all-around really good fighter, a very balanced champion. And you have Holloway, who has solid takedown defense and can kind of hold his own on the ground if it's not against super elite grapplers. And like, I don't really see this fight going to the ground that much, and if it does, I understand that Holloway's, you know, Holloway's defense, Holloway's experiences there, you know, he's not going to be held down for long if it does go down. And I don't see Topuria knocking out Holloway. That's the thing. Like, if Gaethje couldn't, because this is someone who picked Holloway beating Gaethje at UFC 300, and I was telling people, like, look, the only way Gaethje's gonna win is if he knocks him out, and he's not knocking out Holloway. Holloway's chin is too fucking good. That was his first knockdown in his long-ass UFC career due to Justin Gaethje, and it was in, like, the 4th round. And I think Gaethje is a harder hitter than Topuria. Again, the Volk win was huge for him. I'm not trying to make it seem like that Volk was damaged, so it, you know, is, like, not a great win. It's a fantastic win. It's fucking Volkanovski. You know, he fucking scooped 50-45 Holloway. Who the fuck? Nobody fucking does that. You know what I mean? And Holloway's going to present really great problems for him on the feet. You know, he's going to be this is going to be a really high-paced fight. You know, anybody could go out, but I just don't see it being Holloway. And so for that reason, you know, I agree with you in regards to, I think Holloway is gonna win. Again, like I was saying earlier, it's a very 50-50 fight for me. I go back and forth on it every fucking week, but I'm gonna go with Holloway as of right now. I think a lot of people would agree with you, but I don't know if he's just gonna school him for 5 rounds or even finish him, really. I see a 48-47 performance come from Holloway, but I definitely think it'll be really competitive. I don't think he'll finish them though, but I see what you're fucking saying, man, and God, as a Holloway fan, like, I really hope this comes to fruition. All right, this next hot take is for me, but I don't really even know if I would call this a hot take. I think it is, though. I think it fucking is. I do not want to see a lightweight title interim strap. Why are people talking about this fight going down? People are saying, do Arman versus Oliveira rematch. But like, Arman just beat him. Now, I understand it was a split decision. It was a competitive fight. I am a huge Oliveira fan. My favorite lightweight, like, one of my favorite fighters on the whole fucking roster. But Arman won that fight. It was competitive and it was close, but it wasn't a robbery by any means. And Islam Makhachev has been an active as fuck champion. Like, he just fought in June. He doesn't need to fight. You know, he's probably going to fight in December. You know, 6 months later, that's, you know, it's a solid turnaround. He's an active champion. But it's like, if he doesn't, why do people feel the need to put an interim belt right away? There are times and places for interim belts, right? Jose Aldo after McGregor moved up. Tom Aspinall after Jones and Miocic are going to do a double retirement. There are times for interim champions, and then there are times that it doesn't make any fucking sense, and this isn't one of them. Not that I wouldn't love to see that fight again. Not that there aren't possible fights that you can make for it. Gaethje versus Hooker, like, let's just see those fights, though. Let's just give Arman the title shot. Islam's an active as fuck champion. He's gonna fight in the next 6 to 8 months. We don't need an interim title fight. I know it sucks if we only get Islam once in 2024, but odds are, if he doesn't fight in December, he's gonna fight in January or February. So he's like, it's not crazy. I just think people need to fucking relax, pick and choose your moments for interim title bouts. That's why it's just like such a fucking joke to some people, interim belts nowadays, because they're just popping up for no damn reason. Give Arman the shot. That's the only fucking title shot to make right now. It's Arman. He deserves it. Lightweight needs, you know, another year before we kind of figure out who this next contender is. It's Arman right now, and there's no need for an interim title bout. Islam Makhachev is a super active champion. I think there's Pereira and then there's him right now in terms of the champions who are the most active, statistically. This next take is from a fan on my Insta. I appreciate you, Juan Dalla. I hope I didn't fuck that up. Saying that American wrestling is going to take over the UFC. This is controversial, my guy, but, you know, I kind of see what you're saying. There's some really solid U.S. wrestlers we got right now, and they're kind of scattered throughout the divisions, and I totally see what you're saying. But I feel like these daggies, man, are the ones that are going to fucking just dominate the wrestling, as sad as that is. I'm sorry, man. It's an unfortunate fate. We're just entering that era. When you think about, you know, the top American wrestlers, I feel like right now in the UFC, you think of Colby Covington, you think of Bryce Mitchell, Aljamain Sterling, Sean Brady, Bo Nickel, and then you have past legends. You have DC, you have Cejudo. Those are top 20 fighters of all time that are primarily U.S. wrestler based. I mean, the only heavyweight you really see fucking do it is Curtis Blades. But yeah, when I think of elite U.S. wrestlers right now, there's not too many. I'm kind of, you know, there's not a lot. It's the sad thing. Some of these fucking, it's just these fucking daggies, man. That's like headlining Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi fight nights. But man, it's a hot take. But you know what? I would love to see some good old U.S. wrestling. I know one of the guys that just won Tough, I did not watch, but I watched his fight, and I understand that he's basically like a primarily big U.S. grappler, U.S. wrestler. Like, that was like his whole fucking style. So he could be an up-and-coming guy. I think he's in the middleweight division. Sean Brady's got a fight upcoming, you know, this next weekend with Gilbert Burns. We're gonna see a lot of high-level grappling on display there. We got the Brazilian grappling versus the U.S. wrestling, bro. So I think in terms of like big U.S. wrestling prospects, obviously I think Bo Nickel is the one, especially because middleweight, just the middleweight division, you know, it's not full of big wrestlers. When you look at the rankings, primarily it's a lot of strikers. So I mean, when you see a guy like that, I mean, you have Hamza, he's not fucking U.S. Fuck that guy. But when Bo gets, you know, 3 or 4 more fights, he's gonna start fighting the top 10, and we're gonna see how he does against them, you know, bringing that good old US wrestling. But I definitely think it's a hot take. I don't think it's the craziest fucking take ever, though. You're valid as fuck. Dude, as an American, hell yeah, I hope that shit happens. And then this is the last take we got for the video. This is my own original take, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna disagree with this one. That's why it's called the hot motherfucking take. I think Dricus du Plessis is gonna beat Khamzat Chimaev, Sean Strickland, and Robert Whittaker. Now, here's the thing, bro. I'm not saying that all three fights are gonna happen, but I think whoever is next for Dricus, if it was, I should have worded it like this, I'm stupid as fuck, my bad. Whoever is gonna face du Plessis next in the next title fight or two, it's gonna be Strickland, Chimaev, or Whittaker. You know, I think he beats all three of those guys. Whichever ones end up facing him, I think du Plessis is the best man of the four. I understand that it's insane watching his fights because it literally just looked like a drunk man dancing, as Dana White puts it. It's a sloppy style, bro. It's insane, but he beats top guys. He beat Strickland in a really close decision. He knocked out Robert Whittaker. He knocked out Robert fucking Whittaker. Well, I understand could be a chinny fighter at times, but goddamn, he was a minus 500 in that fight, I think. He subbed Israel Adesanya like TKO Derek Brunson. He beat Darren Till. I don't even know how legitimate of a win Darren Till is anymore, but look at these other names, you know what I mean? I just can't see Khamzat being the guy that beats him. Like, I understand, like, DDP can hold his own on the fucking ground. Like, Khamzat is not gonna have some, like, incredible gap, especially the middleweight champion against a guy who is earning a #1 contender shot, beating an off-the-couch Usman. Robert, he already fucking knocked out, and he's either gonna take Rob to a decision or he's gonna knock him out again, but I got du Plessis. And this Strickland fight that everybody wants. Now, here's the thing. I do agree that I do think Strickland deserves it, especially while we're waiting to see how Whittaker and Chimaev plays out anyway. So, I mean, it's fair to have those two run it back. It's gonna be a competitive fight. But I don't think it's as an intriguing of a matchup. I think it's kind of gonna be, you know, kind of the same thing we got the first time. And the first time was a great fight, Strickland versus du Plessis, but I don't know, man. I'm not as, like, excited for it as I feel like a lot of people are. Like, I think it's the matchup to make right now, but I would just rather see du Plessis fight the winner of Rob versus Chimaev, but we have time for it. I'm assuming du Plessis Strickland 2 is going to go down early 2025, and then he fights the winner of Khamzat and Robert, like, I guess maybe in the fall. But I just don't see Strickland beating him. I think it's going to be a really similar situation. It's going to go to a decision. It's either going to be a really close fight again, or I think du Plessis gets him. I can't see du Plessis finishing him, but I could maybe see him just getting a better decision, maybe like a 5-0 or a 4-1 on the scorecard. I don't know. I know that du Plessis has a wacky fucking style. It's insane to watch, but I think he beats those guys. I think he stays champion all of 2025. And I just think he's so fucking overlooked. And if he fights fucking Alex Pereira, I think he beats Pereira at middleweight. Now, if they do it at light heavyweight, du Plessis is getting fucked up. I think that's a fight that primarily, it just all depends on the weight class. Like, if Pereira versus du Plessis went down at middleweight, du Plessis is gonna win. It's his weight. But if Pereira fucking takes him on at 205, which I don't think a lot of people want to see, then I think Pereira just takes him out. But I just like du Plessis. You know, not one of my favorite fighters, but he fucking brings it every fight, always looking for the finish. Pretty humble guy, but he knows how to get you entertained going into the fight. He's just fucking funny too, dude. He's just this little smart ass sometimes, but he's fucking funny, and he's active as hell. When he's in the cage, he's active, and he wants to fight like twice a year. He doesn't want to just move up to double champ status. He wants like 3 defenses first. I just fuck with the guy. I don't know. I think we need more champions kind of like that. But that's gonna be it, guys. This was Hot Takes. This was the first episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for the 2 fans on my Insta that submitted shit. I really appreciate that. And again, if you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments below, or again, I'll probably, you know, just go comment on my Insta or some shit. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. All the smoke, MMA. This was episode 1 of Hot Takes, and I'll see you guys later.